Good morning. Let's talk about connections for a little bit. Connections with other people and connections with God. That's such a hot topic right now with everything that is going on in the world. It can be easy to feel stressed, isolated, alone, overwhelmed. And that's not just one person. That is our families, our church family, the world in general. It's difficult. And yet God tells us in His Word that connecting is so incredibly important. As a matter of fact, it's so important that this Bible is basically 66 little books that have been put together to tell us one story, one amazing, wonderful, heartfelt story of how much God desires a connection with each of us and how much He planned and how much work He put into it to let us connect with Him, and then to take that connection that He gave us and connect with other people as well. It's super exciting. And it's something that is really easy to get lost, especially right now. So at The Bridge, we have been talking about how can we connect, regardless of whether our church family is in person right now, or whether there are some people who don't feel comfortable in person and are online only. Whether you are 3 or 30 or 103. We know God is doing things in your life right now. We know that He is teaching you lessons right now, and we know that those lessons are really important to share with other people so that you can encourage other people, so other people can see what God is doing and grow in their own faith, that God can do the same thing in their life. So we're excited to announce story cards, and we hope that you will join us.
There are so many ways that we can respond when God speaks to our hearts and He intersects with our lives. But a new way that you can is with the Bridge story cards. Bridge story cards are a way for you to quickly and easily write down what was that hole in your heart? What was the need that you had? How did God meet that? Or did God teach you something? Did He give you an encouraging word during your devotions? Or did something in the sermon just speak to your heart and your mind at the right time? Our stories all start out with the fact that we are human. We all have needs that we cannot meet on our own. We have a hole inside of us that cries out for God, whether it's salvation, encouragement, just a little bit of motivation to get through the day, or we need help finding our lost keys. We know we can cry out to Him and He hears. For instance, on a day when you are just very anxious, you read a devotion and God gives you a specific verse about peace that meets you right where you are at. Now that is a story card moment. God knew that you needed peace. You had that hole that you can't fill on your own, and He provided for that through His Word, a word that was written thousands of years ago, and yet it still had you in mind. Those moments where God intersects with our daily life are so important. They are to motivate us to action. They're to motivate us to be connected more with God, to continue seeking after Him, and then to share what He's given us with other people. We're supposed to run with it. We absolutely cannot put God in a box. He speaks to all of us in so many different ways, but the one thing that's going to be consistent is whatever He is teaching us will line up with His Word. So the next time that He teaches you something, gives you encouragement, and helps you along, reach for a story card. If you're in person, we'll have them by the front door. If you are part of our online church family, feel free to email us and put story card in the subject line. Any way you answer, let us know, what is God doing in your life? What is He teaching you? And especially write down any verses that apply to your situation or that He's given you. Because we can take your stories, we can share them with other people in person and online so that we can all receive everything God has for us. Because as He has comforted us, we can pass that along and connect to each other on a much deeper level.